most wonderful time of the year, college football bowl season, baby. And there are 42 bowl and playoff games to keep us entertained for almost 3.5 weeks. Starting with Toledo versus Middle Tennessee State and going through the national championship on Monday, January 10th, pick your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper and get every college football bowl game day release, including any 5% best bets normally priced at $35 for the low price of $149. As an added bonus, make sure to download the free WagerTalk College Football Bowl Guide by going to wt.buzz/rm. From everyone at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, good luck this college football bowl season.
Happy Wednesday, guys. Carmine and Bianco, WagerTalk.com with the Wednesday edition of Puck Time. Andrew is still in Vegas. He's probably, it's only 8 a.m. over there, so he's probably still in bed sleeping. But we have the Prez here today. It's just him and I. 3 games on the card that we are going to discuss. One of the games that we're going to discuss about from yesterday was that Sharks Kraken game. I had a great day going yesterday, 5-0 until that Sharks game. If you're on my play, you'll know what happened in that game. 10 minutes into the third period, scoreless in that game, and the Sharks kick it into their own net to go down 1-0, eventually lose with the empty netter 3-1. Disappointed about that one and apologize, but what a crazy game. Adam Larson's empty net, and he puts his stick down and stops San Jose from scoring and going ahead 1-0. If I had hair, I would have no hair because I would have pulled it out during that game. But a crazy game. Prez, it was better news for you as far as the team you're a big fan of. They went in and absolutely spanked the Edmonton Oilers last night. I don't know what's going on in Edmonton. It's 6 straight losses for a team that's supposed to have a wealth of talent. Maybe they need a goaltender. Maybe when the Chicago Blackhawks start to clean house closer to the trade deadline, Marc-Andre Fleury makes his way to Edmonton. What do you think?
Well, I haven't really given much thought to Edmonton's getting Marc-Andre Fleury. Anyway, nice to be here, dude. Sorry about your 5%. I had a shitter yesterday. It's I don't know what to say. It's been a shit ass NHL season for me personally, and it's killing me. I got no jokes. I got no energy. Ottawa Senators go into Florida and win 8-2. What the hell? I wasn't even on that game, but what the hell?
Yeah.
Winnipeg. What the hell?
Yeah. There was we talk about it all the time. Some of these big priced favorites that went down. I think, I'm not sure, but I think Florida or Pittsburgh were one of the two were the biggest ones. Pittsburgh did get the win against Montreal, but I think Florida had to be at least minus 250, 260 in that game, and they were never in it. It might have been tied early on, but they had absolutely zero energy in that game. And Ottawa, after already winning at home against and shutting out the Tampa Bay Lightning, then go down to Florida and lay 8 on Spencer Knight and the Panthers. Unbelievable. And and then the Sabres winning in Winnipeg. I didn't see that coming. I was on the over in that game, so I'm glad I got there. I just didn't think it would be the Sabres doing the scoring.
Yeah, it's been wild, man. Anyway, my personal hockey team lost last night 6-1 as well, so it was just an all-around stinker. I did win on the Flyers, and I think they might be a bye team moving forward. They've put together a nice little run, and we saw it with Vancouver, and now we're seeing it with Philly. These in-season coach changes really do have an effect.
Yeah, I was talking to Dan, our producer, who is from Philadelphia, and he's boycotted himself from watching any Flyer games. But I told him their next 3 games spaced over the next 7 days are the Montreal Canadiens, the Ottawa Senators, and then they return home to face the Washington Capitals next Tuesday. They could very well be on a 5-game win streak when they face off at home against the Capitals. We've talked about it throughout the year. Losing streaks get compounded. Winning streaks, you get one or two, and that confidence in the dressing room just it just gets in there. The momentum, man. Mo is you want Mo on your side, whether you're a Liverpool fan or whether you're a hockey protagonist, Prez. But anyways, we got 3 games. Let's get to them. First game on the card: Washington Capitals, Chicago Blackhawks. Let's have a look at the numbers on this one. The Capitals minus 150. Chicago at home plus 130 dog. The total here is 5.5. Prez, listen, we talked about it last year. We talk about it every once in a while. It's not a handicapping tool, but one of the funniest things you can see sometimes is a team that zigzags. They just trade wins and losses, and that's Chicago. 12 straight games where they've traded wins and losses. They've zigged and zagged. So if you abide by that zigzag rule, and you shouldn't because it's not a handicapping tool, they're supposed to win tonight because they lost their last game and they're plus 130. You look at it, the under is 5-1 in this game, but 5-1 for Chicago at home, their last 6. Washington's on a 6-2-2 overrun, and Chicago has a plus 170 dog, went to Washington and beat them in overtime just under 2 weeks ago. I'm still leaning to Washington here, the minus 150. I think they're the team. Samsonov is 11-3 this year. He's 2-0 off a loss, lost his last game against Pittsburgh, so he could be 3-0 off the loss. And then you got likely Marc-Andre Fleury, who started the season 1-7, but is now 7-3 his last 10 because the Hawks are playing defense. Probably Washington for me. What are your thoughts, Prez?
Yeah, I mean, look, I like Washington too. I would take them in regulation, personally, but it didn't make my card tonight. I'm not going to be playing. I'm not going to be releasing NHL plays to my clients. Backstrom's out, not out, questionable. Wilson's questionable. The zigzag theory, is it a handicapping tool? I mean, there has to be something to it, Carm. I don't think it's something that I'm, factor in majorly, but listen, Chicago's in perfect rhythm right now. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. I just, dude, I stink today. Like, I am so despondent, and I want the clients to see it. Like, this is what it is. I'm so lucky to be selling plays and handicapping, and I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job. Look at this. Anyway, I like Washington in regulation tonight, Carm, plus 120.
Yeah, no, listen, I get it. I get your
I don't want to talk
message.
hockey. I don't want to talk about hockey. I'm on a show, and I don't want to talk about hockey. Can we talk about a movie? Can we talk about NBA basketball? Yeah. Can we talk about NFL?
No, we won't. What we will discuss is the next game on the card, which is the Rangers and the Arizona Coyotes. That's what we're going to discuss next. The line for this one, let's get it up on the board there. The Rangers in the second of a back-to-back, minus 220. Arizona at home, a plus 180 dog, and the total here is 5.5. This is one of those ones, again, Lawrence, I look at it and I'm like, let's see who the goalies are first. They're unconfirmed. We talked yesterday about Shesterkin. I didn't think he would play last night. I thought it would be Georgiev, and it was. But I don't think it's going to be Shesterkin in net tonight either. They're showing right now expected to be Kincaid, who they called up from the minors, and likely Wedgwood, who's 3-6-1 with Zona, but he's on 5 straight losses, where his goals against average is a inflated 3.87. The problem here is with Wedgwood is in those 5 games where his goals against average is 3.87, because I was leaning towards the over in this game, is the fact that 3 of those 5 games stayed under the total because Arizona's not scoring. They've averaged less than 2 goals over those 5 games. So how do you take a total when you hope it's only one team doing the scoring? You want to see scoring, balanced scoring from both sides. So that's the only caveat to this whole thing is while I lean on the over here in this game with likely an emergency goalie in net for the Rangers, if it's not Shea Sturkin and Georgiev and Kincaid and Wedgwood, who after coming and looking good early on, he's looked absolutely horrid in his last 5 starts for Zona. Thoughts?
Yeah, Carm, we're on the opposite side here. I mean, I looked at this play and I think under for sure, and I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. Firstly, you mentioned Arizona's goals. Okay, last game they put up 3. Before that, it was 1-1, 1-2, 1-2. This team is struggling to score 2 goals in a game. Look at their shots, Carm. There was a game against Winnipeg where they shot the puck on net 15 times. 15 times. I shot the puck on my own net last night more than 15 times. When there is a backup goalie, in net and maybe even a third string goalie in net, New York Rangers are going to play tighter. They're going to play in the offensive zone. They're going to really try to bottle up Arizona. Given that Arizona doesn't require a whole lot of effort to bottle them up, I think this game's a stone cold under to me.
Yeah, listen, I don't. I'm not going to argue that, and it's why I mentioned. While my initial thoughts were to lean to the over here, and the over/under is split at 5.5. It's -110 juice both ways.
Yeah.
So it's even the books are telling you we're putting up a 5.5. You decide whether you want to go over or under, and it's the lack of scoring for Arizona. And I get the shots. Last year, it was similar with Arizona. You saw a lot of Arizona games where there were some games against Colorado and other teams where they failed to register more than 15 shots on goal. The difference was they had Ranta in net, they had Comfort in net, and those guys aren't there. It's a completely different thing with the off-season merry-go-round of goalies. So they were winning games. They were winning or games where there were 2-1 games. We saw it last year. They weren't getting shots on net, and you're wondering, why isn't the team I'm betting winning by multiple goals here? These guys aren't getting any shots on net, and this is one of the reasons. If you're only getting 15 shots on goal, and you've got a decent goalie in that other net, you should be beating this Zona team. And they've just fallen off. They had that little stretch where they won a couple games. They beat the Red Wings, they beat the Kings, but they're back to who they are. They think they're sitting on like 12 points, last in the league. Only Montreal 3 points ahead of them. Not that great. So I get it. You like the under. I'm leaning to the over a bit, but again, the fact that the only way this gets to the over is they expect the Rangers to score.
Well, then you're just better off
at least two or three.
Well, yeah. So take Arizona team total under, Rangers team total over, and then you get to walk the line between Carm and I. Carm, I got a question for you. I got a question as a Buffalo Sabre fan.
And then someone has a question for you. The term fade. How do you use that in when you're looking at a team and gambling wise? So since we only have 3 games today, you might want to answer that one. But ask me.
That was a snot-ass question to point out that they should feed it on air. I'm going to ask you your question now, idiot. Right. Buffalo Bills, dude. You're a Buffalo Sabres. Carm, I'm not in the mood. Buffalo Sabres, my question to you is, and it leads right into the Anaheim Ducks game. Does it bother you seeing a team like Anaheim stockpile these draft picks and literally just release like a school of children that all look like they're world beaters? I mean, there's so many of them.
Yeah, they're a good team. Anaheim's going to get better. They stockpile. The LA Kings have talent, young talent, and stockpiled some picks, so they're going to be a better team. And you look at it, maybe we see a shifting of thing over the next couple of years. Look at the Detroit Red Wings. Steve Yzerman, you give him another year or two, and that team is going to be in the playoffs. They look good this year in the sense of they're competing. I just think over the course of 82 games, in that ultra tough East, that they're just not going to get into that 8th spot. I just don't see it happening. There's 8 or 9 other teams
Not this
that
year.
I see there. No, not this year, but he's building a good enough team there. And then you look at, in all honesty, when we get closer to the trade deadline, the Chicago Blackhawks are going to clean house. They are not a playoff team. They're going to clean house, which is why I'm talking about Fleury. Fleury has that a list of 10 teams that he will go to, and come playoff time, or trade deadline, he's going to want to go to a team. If they're cleaning house and they want to get rid of his contract, he's going to go somewhere. It's just a matter of which team is cap friendly, and which team has some prospects to send to Chicago's way. But we're going to see some players from Chicago and some name players leave, I believe, closer to that trade deadline. Yes, no?
Yeah, I think this year's trade deadline is going to be unbelievable, given that there's so many teams that are so bad. And I want to speak to you really quick. Just let me say, Morning Lions asked that question, and he did write in the chat room that he wasn't trying to be rude. I'm in a bad mood. I'm allowed. I do this every single day, and I'm allowed to have a day like this. That's how I'm looking at it. What does it mean to fade? I'll answer that question now. It just means to play against. Like, for instance, fade, the Seattle Kraken tonight. And that's what I plan on doing. A small personal bet, but that's what it means, fade. One of the other people asked, what does it mean? What does it mean when Prez shoots in his own net? Cheshire, I play defense, and I deflect pucks on a regular basis into my own net. That's what it means. It means I'm a terrible, terrible hockey player. Carm.
But at least you're getting some exercise. This is what it's all about. I'm going to get on the treadmill after this show and before Wager Talk today appearance. But let's get back to hockey and the Seattle-Anaheim game. Yes, I'm going to speak about the Kraken because they crackened my play last night, pun intended. You look at the numbers on this one. Anaheim minus 165. That's gone up since this morning. It was at about $1.50 this morning. So they're getting some money. Seattle plus 140. And the total here is 5.5. Excuse me. Grubauer was supposed to start yesterday, or he was expected to start, but they went with Dreider instead. But I actually think that Dreider helped the Kraken a bit because Grubauer, last 3 games, 11 goals allowed on only 66 shots. He hasn't been good since coming to Seattle, but I get it. It's you have a team in front of you that are playing together for the first time this season, or for the first season together. He hasn't been good. He's like 1-6, 1-5 his last 6 starts.
Terrible.
We don't know. We don't know who's in net yet for Anaheim. Gibson was injured, didn't play in the last game, but he's 3-7 in his last 10 starts. But here's the thing, Lawrence, is having watched that whole game yesterday, Seattle played their absolute eyeballs out. And while this is not an angle, I just don't know how much they have left in the tank tonight to play less than 24 hours later. They're 1-2 in the second of a back-to-back this season thus far. But they left it on the ice yesterday. They had some former San Jose Sharks in that lineup. So I think that was a big win for them to go back home and win. But they looked gassed at the end. The Sharks came on in the last 10 minutes. The Kraken were absolutely gassed. But they held on, won that game. I don't know what they have tonight against this Anaheim team. For me, I have to lean Anaheim here, and I might even want to take that very low price. I think you can almost get plus money on Anaheim to win in regulation time. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm with you right there, brother. Anaheim 60-minute line is the play. You're getting plus 105 on that number. I think that is the play, and I think that the fact that Seattle is on a back-to-back and played their guts out last night is a very legitimate piece of information to use in your handicap. I'm really high on this Anaheim team, and we spoke about this during the baseball season with the Blue Jays. I really like to bet on teams that smile a lot. I know that sounds absurd, but if you're having fun, you're winning. There's just no professional athletes. There's no giggles in Montreal right now. The Seattle Kraken and the Arizona Coyotes are not having drinking parties on a Thursday night. This Anaheim team is having a freaking blast out there. And that is a result of wins, and it results in wins. I like Anaheim in regulation at plus 105. Guys.
Yeah,
you want to see a transformation? Check out the Prez on WagerTalk today at 12. I don't think I'll be this miserable until the second segment when I have to talk hockey again.
Yeah, well, you'll have you'll have some espresso in you or latte or whatever you make before the show, which should perk you up. The only thing, getting back to this Anaheim game is, I always talk about one of the things I like to do in a lot of cases is fade a team in their first home off a road trip. Yeah. And Anaheim's coming in, having played 5 on the road. Their last game was 3 days ago. So they've had some time at home after a 3-2 win in St. Louis. But they've got the 4th best home record in the West at 9-6 with a plus 15 goal differential. They play extremely well at home, and now they're picking up some wins on the road. They picked up points in 4 of the 5 games on the road. 3 of those wins, they dropped the first one in OT to Washington, and then even the game in Pittsburgh that they lost was a 1-0 game in Pittsburgh. So this team is competing, and the fact that Seattle played last night, like I said, they left it on the ice. I'm not sure what they have in the tank tonight. I guess we'll find out. But I'm going to take Anaheim and likely Anaheim in regulation.
There you go. Right. We're on the same page.
All right. Let's get to our best bet segment. Only 3 games on the card. So with that huge slate yesterday, of course, we only have 3 to talk about today. And again, we'll talk about 2 of these again on WagerTalk today. What do you have up at WagerTalk? And what's your show best bet?
Well, Carm, thanks for asking. As far as what's going on at WagerTalk, I mean, right now, I think my NFL is really in must-play mode. I've been seeing NFL from start to finish really, really well this year in all areas, though. Like my free picks are winning. All my NFL presidential address, I'm winning. My best bets in my NFL presidential address is 66% on the season. I'm winning in NFL on the daily presidential address on WagerTalk today. I'm winning in NFL for my clients. Like, I'm just seeing the NFL well. I have a play for tomorrow night. I have a 5% for this weekend. But I do have a promotion for everybody. Prez 149. Prez or Z. Prez 149. Only $149 for the NFL right till the Super Bowl from me. And the craziest thing is, this is the time of year I do the best work in NFL every year, and especially in the playoffs. So I'm going into my best period seeing the NFL well. I'm excited for what the next couple of months of NFL betting has for me. As for my best bet, Washington in regulation tonight at plus, it was 120. It is now plus 105. That's it, brother. I want to apologize to all our incredible, loyal, wonderful listeners. I wasn't myself today. It's going to happen.
Listen, it's all good. I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself. If you want to come on Friday's show, you're more than welcome to. Kevin Dolan will be stepping into the guest chair as well too, and you can co-host along with myself and Kevin. So you decide and let us know. I'm going to go back to the Rangers game for my best bet. I'm leaning to the over in that game. Again, Wedgwood is now confirmed as the starting goalie for Arizona. It's likely going to be Kincaid. At least that's what some of the sites are showing, including RotoWire. That it is Kincaid with making his first start since being called up from the minors. Like I said, Wedgwood hasn't looked good. We're going to need some goals from Arizona to get this over that total. but even a 5-1 Rangers win gets us there, and that gets you all the money. So I know you like the under here, Prez. I'm going over. It's Rangers, Arizona, over 5.5 as my show best bet. 3 plays up right now in afternoon soccer, EPL, and German Bundesliga. 4-0 soccer day yesterday. So we're having just an unbelievable soccer year right now. I think about plus 180% bankroll gain this year. So let's see if we can keep that going. And 2 plays up in tonight's NHL cards. So head over to WagerTalk.com, grab that 1-day all-access package, and you get all the plays that are loaded today. Let's put the show best bets up on the screen one last time. And guys, we will see you again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Rangers, Arizona, over 5.5 for me. And the Prez, the always cheerful Prez, with the Washington Capitals in regulation, plus 105. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, and good luck with your wagers tonight.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, college football bowl season, baby. And there are 42 bowl and playoff games to keep us entertained for almost 3.5 weeks. Starting with Toledo versus Middle Tennessee State and going through the national championship on Monday, January 10th, pick your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper and get every college football bowl game day release, including any 5% best bets normally priced at $35 for the low price of $149. As an added bonus, make sure to download the free WagerTalk College Football Bowl Guide by going to wt.buzz/rm. From everyone at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, good luck this college football bowl season.